Yeah, students, we'll start with the class. Hello, is it audible, right?
Audible.
Yeah, I am. So today, I think we can't discuss much aspects. Why? Because it was started late. So you got materials today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Yeah, students. In the last class, we were discussing about void contracts, right? Void contracts and void agreements, right? So that all everything we have discussed. In that only one crucial point I'll discuss today. So I have told you already that just a minute. Yeah, students. See, in the last class, I have discussed about so what is this point? You see, all illegal agreements are void, but all void agreements are not illegal. Means what? So here the point is illegal or always void, illegal or void, correct? So illegal or void. So at the same time, void but not illegal, just we have discussed in the last class, are also void. Understood? Are also void. So both are void. Right. So anyhow, finally they will become void. Illegal will become void at the same time. Void but not illegal, that also will become void finally. But what makes the difference? There is a slight difference. What makes the difference? That point we are going to discuss. Anyhow, the contracts becomes void, but slightly there is a some sort of relief for the second category, right? Void but not illegal, right? So here, uh, the main point is collateral transaction. So collateral transaction is one of the aspect, right? So collateral transaction matters always. That makes the difference. See, what is a collateral transaction first of all, right? See, for example, and B started a business, they entered into partnership, right? So for that, for doing that business, right, A borrowed the money from C. A borrowed money from C, right? So capital will be some 5 lakhs, suppose. So A and B started a business with a capital, yes, capital is 5 lakhs. So that 5 lakhs he borrowed from C. That 5 lakhs he borrowed from C, telling that, yes, I have a business to start. So this is the business with B. So please give me 5 lakhs. That's A borrowed from C. Now you see, students, AB transaction, right? AB transaction is a main contract, right? So this is a main contract, but AC transaction is a collateral transaction, will be called as a collateral transaction. So as you have seen, students, collateral transaction means the transaction which is directly related to the main contract, directly related to the main transaction or a main contract, right? For example, if you see, A borrowed from C, correct? Why? Because he already had agreement with B, partnership with B, right? Means what? This AC agreement is there only because of AB agreement. Understood? Suppose if AB agreement is not there, then A would not have borrowed from C. Correct? Understood, right? So if AB agreement is not there, suppose AB partnership is not there, then A don't have any necessity to borrow from C. Correct? So now here clearly A borrowed from C only because there is AB partnership. If AB partnership is not there, then AC agreement also is not there. Right? That is what. So that is what collateral transaction. So it is directly linked or directly related to the main transaction. Understood? If collateral is there only because of main contract. If main contract is not there, then collateral also is not there. Clear? So the borrowed money from C is only because of AB agreement. Otherwise, there will be no borrowal from C. Clear? Understood, right? So that is what. So that's what the collateral transaction is all about. So now you see, students, now here the point is, suppose if AB, right, partnership is for illegal business, completely illegal business, like some smuggling of prohibited drugs, right? So now AB agreement, right? AB agreement is for partnership agreement is for smuggling of prohibited drugs. For that, yes, share of capital is 5 lakhs, and C's, so for that he borrowed from C, telling to C that, yes, I had a smuggling business agreement. So by telling the purpose, he borrowed from C. Right. So here students, C should also know the purpose for which A is borrowing. Understood? C should also be aware about the purpose for which A is borrowing. Understood? So in this case, the main contract, the main AB contract, so will become illegal, and it is void, and the collateral transaction also will become void. Means what? Later, even C cannot borrow C cannot recover money from A legally. Understood? So AB agreement is void anyhow, that is fine. But C also, now AC also will become void. AC agreement also will become void, and later even C cannot file a case for the recovery of the money from A. Why? Because he has given the lent the money for a illegal business. He has lent the money for a illegal business. Clear, understood, right, students? So here it is what? So illegal and void, illegal and void. So if main is illegal, right? As usual, it becomes void, and at the same time, its collateral also will become void, right? So that is what for the first type of transaction. Now coming to second type of transaction. So in the same example, similar example we'll see, right? So A, B entered into an agreement. A, B entered into an agreement. So which is a, suppose, wagering agreement, or else A B agreement in which B is a minor, in which B is a minor. So A lent money to B. Understood? A has lent money to B, who is a minor. 1 lakh rupees he lent to B at a interest rate, at some interest of 12%, suppose, right? And for that, he borrowed money from C. For that, he borrowed money from C. Clear? Now, AB is a main agreement and AC is a collateral transaction. So, this is a main transaction, right? And this is a collateral transaction, right? Now, you see AC agreement is there. A borrowed from C only because of this AB. So if he has to lend it to B, that's why he borrowed from C. If AB agreement is not there, then AC also not there. There is no need to borrow from C only. Clear, understood, right? Now, if you see, students, the main transaction is void only, void but not illegal, right? So agreement with a minor is not illegal, students. It is not illegal, but it is void. Right. So the main contract is void but not illegal. So here, students, in this case, collateral transaction will be valid. Collateral transaction will be valid. It don't have that effect to the collateral transaction. So here in this case, students, A cannot, AB agreement will become void as usual. No, there is no point of legality. But here C will get a right to recover it from A, right? See, but that does not affect the AC agreement. That does not affect the AC agreement. Now, C has got every right to file a case on A for the recovery of the money. Clear, students? So now AC agreement will get the validity. AC agreement will get the validity. So AB agreement, as usual, it will be void. So that makes the difference, students. That makes the difference, right? Both are as a point, both are void only, but the difference will come in the collateral transaction, right? In case of illegal, collateral transaction also will become void, but in case of void but not illegal, collateral transaction will remain valid only. Clear, students? Understood, right? So
Understood.
got my point, right? Everyone understood, right, ma? Yeah. So regarding this only, we'll discuss one more points. Yes, students. Now, exceptions and illegal agreements. So here this point discusses normally students illegal agreements means it won't have any legal validity at all. Even if they file case in the court also, the cases will not be taken, right, because it is illegal, and it won't the parties even get won't rights legal rights on each other. So that is what illegal agreements. But even though they are illegal, in some exceptional cases, right, so the money or else property can be recovered. Money or property can be recovered by one party, right? Already I've given you some money, so I can recover that, or else I have given you one property or goods or anything else, now I can recover that. So in what cases, so what are the exceptions to that? So these are the cases, one by one we'll see. So where the contract is still executory, right? Executory means still it is not performed. For example, A and B entered into an agreement for dealing with some illegal business. Dealing with some illegal business. For that, A arranged some 1 lakh of rupees of money to B, right? So, but still it is not yet performed. So they entered into agreement, transferred the some money, but still the transaction is not yet performed. So the goods or else have not yet been transferred, and still the contract is executory only, means not yet performed. Understood? So now before the performance is finished, now A realized it, and now he wants to get back out of that. He wants to get out of the transaction with B. Now, in this case, yes. So in this case, now where the contract is still executory, now A can even file a case for the recovery of the money from B. Understood? Why? Because now he opted out of the illegal business. Right. So, but here, students, all the cases the court will not allow like that. So, court will allow only such cases depending on the seriousness. Right. Suppose there might be illegality, but illegality is not severe. Understood? Illegality is not that much severe. So in that case, yes, the court might allow. In that case, the court might allow. But if the illegality is severe, suppose A and B have entered into prohibited heroin or cocaine or like that type of drugs, in that case, the court might not allow. Right? Why? Because the illegality is severe here. So there, you enter into pure illegal transaction, prohibited drugs, and now again you came back and asking your money back and seeking the help of the court. That doesn't make any sense. Understood? So here the court will allow based on the seriousness. If it is very severe, then the court will not allow that also. Suppose if the severity is not that much, then in that case the court might allow. Clear? Right. Suppose it might be a case like A and B are dealing with some liquor products, right? Suppose in a state after 10 p.m. Dealing with liquor is banned. Right now, these both entered into agreement at 10:30 p.m. So actually, that is illegal only, but that is not that much severe. Why? Because already dealing in liquor products is already legally allowed in the state only. Understood? So it is only a difference of half an hour. That's it. Understood? It's only a difference of half an hour. So in that case, yeah, it is illegal only, but it is not that much severe. Understood? In that case, the court might allow. Understood? If you withdraw from it. Clear? But if it is related to pure smuggling like prohibited drugs like heroin or cocaine or something like that, which is highly prohibitive, right? In that case, students, yeah, the court won't allow such type of cases. Clear, students? Got it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it. Next one. where the recovery is possible without relying on the illegal agreement. So this also will look into one example. Suppose X is a owner of the house, right? Y is the tenant of the house. Now X let out his home to Y for doing some, right, gambling business. So Y is running a gambling house. So even X knows it. So now he letted his house on rent to Y for who is running a gambling house. Understood? So in this case, students, actually the rental agreement, the agreement is illegal only. The agreement is illegal only. Now, can X recover the rent from Y means no. In that wise, he cannot recover the money. But X, since he is the owner of the house, he can exercise the ownership rights. Now, if he wants to make Y to vacate the house, yes, that right he can exercise. Understood? So, ownership right he can exercise, but that rental agreement or lease agreement will be void. Understood? So, means what here? Recovery is possible without relying on the illegal agreement. Yes, without based on illegal agreement, even though that letting of house is illegal agreement, right? So without the right, but ownership is not related to that rental agreement. Understood? So that rental agreement might be void. He cannot recover the rent, but as an owner, he can exercise his right to take the custody of the house. Understood? So that is what the point here. Recovery is possible without relying on the illegal agreement. So rent he cannot recover, but he can take the custody of the house and make Y to vacate the house. Clear, students? Next one is where the parties are not equally guilty. Where the parties are not equally guilty. Yeah, here students, suppose A, B entered into an agreement for doing some illegal business, illegal business, but here B does not give a free consent. B does not give a free consent. Means what? So B's acceptance was taken by applying a coercion from A. So B was not accepting it before. But what happened? A applied some coercion, right? And because of that, B accepted to that. B accepted to that illegal agreement with A. Now, in this case, students, B is not equally guilty with A. Understood? B is not equally guilty like A. Clear? Understood? Right? Now, in this case, yes, since his consent is not a free consent, now B can file a case for the recovery of any property or goods or money from A. Clear? Understood? Right? Next one is where the illegality is severable. Severable means illegality. So there is a contract in which legal part can be separated, illegal part can be separated. So in that legal part is valid, illegal part is not valid. Right? For example, P promised Q, right? So that I will pay 10,000 rupees to you. For that, in return, you have to send me uh, onions worth rupees onions worth rupees 10,000, or else if the onions are not available, send me, right, prohibited drugs rupees 10,000. Right? So this is what the agreement. So here or is mentioned. So if they are available, if the goods are available, right, then you send it to me. Understood? Onions, if the onions are available, you send it. Otherwise, right, otherwise, so Just a minute. Yeah, otherwise send some prohibited drugs of rupees 10,000. Clear. So if onions are available, yeah, get me the onions, or else send me the 10,000 worth of prohibited drugs. Right. So here the illegality is severable, means illegality is separated, students. Separated in the sense, yeah. So onions is a legal part, but this one is a illegal part. Right. Suppose if he sent 10,000 rupees of onions, then it will become a valid agreement. But suppose if he sends 10,000 rupees of smuggled goods, then it is not a valid agreement. Suppose if the onions are sent, it will be valid, then parties will get legal rights on each other. Suppose if we send smuggled goods or opium or anything else, then in that case, yes, it will become void and it will not be enforced. It cannot be enforced. Clear, students, right? So this is what, students, all about the illegal agreements. So have you understood, students? Yeah, yeah. So understood. So Anupama and Ikra Banu. Yeah, yeah. So clear, right, students? So this is all about the illegal agreements and illegal, void agreements. So with this, the entire chapter got finished with that. So next we'll go into contingent contracts and quasi contracts. Yeah, students. So that we will go in the next class, students. Why? Because so new chapter, and today hardly 6 or 7 students are present, right? And also time is almost about to finish. Okay. So in the next class, we are going to start that contingent and quasi contract. So almost students. So in the next maximum in the next 2 classes, I'll try to finish the Indian Contract Act. Understood? Which is a major part of your syllabus. So we'll be getting finished by in the next 2 classes, or else maximum another 1 class. Clear? So you can take 3 classes. In the 3 classes, Contract Act is going to be finished. So once the Contract Act is finished, means more than 50% of your syllabus is got finished. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, students. So with this, I'll close the meeting today, and we'll meet again in the next session, right?
Thank you
So
so
next
much.
session, at least, yeah, it will be a full session. There we can discuss a lot of topics. Okay, right, students. Yeah, I'm I'm concluding the session. I'm closing the session.